You're going to hear a lot of monster sounds in these because I was told in one of these clips that he didn't like it. You don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. So,
oh, goody.
There's
So,
be a lot of monsters.
This is unbelievable to me. If anyone has like real proof, because I said I was on This Little Piggy the other day, and I asked for proof, and Patrick Melton was like, "Oh, this guy in the chat said it. I don't know who this man is, but apparently his word carries a lot of weight with Patrick Melton." So, but if you can prove it in some way, I would love to know for sure. If you can like send Aaron some sort of beggy monster chat and see if he ever reads it, I would love to know that, because we did our beggy monster thing. And here's how I assume there were three options. One, most likely, Aaron would never watch it or give a shit about it, which is kind of how I like it. That would be ideal. I'm not doing this to get Aaron's attention. It's just something I enjoy talking about it. So that was option one. Option two would be he goes, "Oh man, they really nailed me with that beggy monster stuff. That's pretty funny." Option three, as I saw it, would be going, "Oh, these assholes, like I don't do that seriously. I don't think there's a monster lurking about." And then he can make fun of us. Those are the three options that I foresaw. I didn't imagine it would go this route that Patrick Melton mentions on Nobody Likes Onions. What a music build up here.
The beggy monster.
It's a beggy monster.
Boy, Soft Weekly told me he was banning anybody who said the beggy monster in his chat or something like that. Like he was losing his mind. Like he won't say the beggy monster anymore because Blind Mike made fun of him. You gotta go watch the beggy monster segment on the latest Blind Mike show.
Aaron, you can't get rid of me that easy.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I'm always here, Aaron.
Gibson would have been so demonetized on YouTube by now.
The beggy monster.
So crazy if that's true. Well, I asked Patrick. I was like, "Is there any way to confirm that?" He goes, "Oh, Soft Weekly said it," and I was like, "That means nothing. I don't know who that is."
Those are words. I mean,
I don't know who or what that is.
Does Hard Daily confirm it? I mean,
that's fun. That's good wordplay. So guys, I mean, there's really no choice other than to tell Aaron. By the way, have we kept subscribing? What are our subscribers at? That's the goal today. The beggy monster is demanding we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this show, and then I totally forgot to mention it a second time. So feel free to do that if you like. But Aaron, you're banning people. Listen. If there's stuff with your ex-wife, or even like the idea that you headbutted April, like if you don't want that out there, whatever. I get no. Why?
because it sounds violent, and that makes it sound funner.
Okay.
Like,
if you want to ban something that's like serious like that you don't want out there, why would you ban something so silly as the beggy monster? Because Aaron, I don't know if you know this, banning him only makes him more powerful. Look out, Aaron! He's right behind you.
yes.
Streamlabs, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. What a fucking douchebag. Like, I didn't want to hate this guy. For a year, I was aware of him, and I was like, he seems like a fine broadcaster to me. And then my eyes were opened, ironically, where I could finally see Aaron for what he truly was. And every time I think, like, well, there's no way he proves it about this. Like, there's no way he would get pissy about the beggy monster. It's unbelievable. Sure enough, he does it. It's amazing.
So we have two Aaron segments here. Do you want to go with the fish tank or the 4-year anniversary?
Let's start with the fish tank, because you go in chronological order, I guess.
Okay.
This was his Wednesday show before Thanksgiving, where he's talking about... He's obsessed with the idea that Alex Stein mentioned him on some reality show that he's doing. Alex Stein was like making fun of Aaron, but Aaron was like, "You don't think I get that, man?" You don't think I understand the art of trolling? So let's hear Aaron from last Wednesday.
This is called Laugh Along.
Aaron gets something that the rest of us don't. He's really mastered something. It's so funny to play this clip after hearing that he's banning people for saying beggy monster. Because Aaron's just a go with the flow guy, man. He can laugh at himself.
Yeah, and chat, make sure you don't share this with Aaron because there won't be any monsters in this.
Don't mention the beggy monster. It's very important.
Right. Like, people don't understand. Like, the reason I'm different and the reason people view me as different and the reason
Hold on. Already, I've got a problem. Who's like, oh, you know who just revolutionized podcasting, man, is Aaron M. Holt. You know, Aaron is so different, man. Actually, what most people view you as is like kind of a radio hack who's desperately trying to get back to the super traditional, cookie cutter, straight-laced AM talk radio. That's actually how people view you. I don't know if people are like, oh man, Aaron's breaking the mold. He's taken podcasting, and you know what he's done with it? He's turned it on its ear. He's totally gone a different direction than everyone else.
Put me in a different class is because I looked at the world and I went, this was gross, this needed to stop, and the person I was needed to die. That was a selfish, disgusting, piggish human being, and he needed to die. So I killed that guy. And you move on. Now, you can't fully be free of that unless you can listen to people make fun of you for it and laugh along with them. If you
What
laugh
about
along
me,
with them,
Aaron?
that's the completion of the death of that
I'm still here.
person.
Now, because of you, Aaron, I still have to do this stupid fucking voice this week. You asshole. Thanks a lot.
This next one's called.
So that's Aaron telling us like how enlightened he is. Meanwhile, I remember, I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I remember like when I first started listening to Aaron, the reason I kind of got hooked into him is because he used a phrase. I'm trying to think of what exactly it was, but someone in the chat will remember. But it was something to the extent of like, to the mods, bulldoze the chat today.
Yeah.
Clear the
roads.
lanes, clear
Clear
the
the
roads.
roads.
It was something like that. Yeah. Clear the roads, where it's like, anyone making fun of me, get rid of them. And you might say, well, maybe maybe that was a bad blemish in an otherwise rock solid reputation. And then you find out someone goes, hey, Aaron, the beggy monster is looking for you. And he's like, get him away. Get him away.
This next one's called Poor Johnny.
Well, this just made me feel bad. There's a lot that makes me feel bad for Johnny Crutches. This was yet another example that he has been reduced. It really shows you, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do this to Casey Day. What I'm saying is, like, Casey Day is producing. I need him on the show. I need him more than anything else. I need him to press end so that this isn't just showing my home for the rest of the day. But like Casey Day serves a function here. That's why he's on the show. Same with Craig when Craig is on. Believe me, Craig will tell you what a valuable purpose he serves on this program. Johnny Crutches evidently has no purpose on this show, and Aaron goes out of his way to prove it any time he can.
Just like me, no purpose.
That's fair.
Hans
I
Maestro's
love
a
you,
big
Lex.
fan of the show.
What? You have purpose.
Oh, he's having a hard time letting go of the fact that his boy Melton has been taking a lot of steel toe L's lately, that we've been able to expose him. But he does it to himself. I'm sorry, Pants Maestro. Just be a bigger steel toe guy. Just have connection issues, and you can...
Pause, please. I need to really drink in that sentence.
Unpack it.
I like the idea of Aaron pleading to Pants Maestro. Like he's gonna get down to Pants Maestro's level and be like, Pants Maestro, don't you understand that Patrick Melton does a worse show than me and you should be on Team Aaron? Do you think Pants Maestro really gives a fuck, Aaron? You think he's going to be like, oh, well, Aaron's making some good points. I'm not going to watch the other show now. Why are you This is essentially a door-to-door service that Aaron is doing, where he's like, hey, I know you listen to Nobody Like Onions, but will you come watch me instead? And then Pants Maestro has to go, I don't know, maybe. And Aaron's like, please, he's a pedophile. And then Pants Maestro's like, all right, fine. You make a good point.
Can have a perfect week. Oh, he wants me to have a Zoom issue that kicks you off.
Oh. So I need to leave. Okay.
That's if he gives me $400.
By the way, I got to say, good for Johnny Crutches. It seems like he doesn't care at all whether or not he's on the show.
Very non-blasé about getting the hell out of here.
He's the Craig of this program.
Also, Craig's still in chat. Fun things.
Now,
That's definitely he's hired one of his children to sit here all day and just be like, guys, pretend I'm adding something to the conversation.
Someone has a phone in protective custody, and they're helping out one of their own, if you know what I'm saying.
Meanwhile,
say that.
Craig is just slamming away
No.
in the dungeon that he has.
If $400 came in from Maestro right now, not only would I totally pretend, tell Johnny, oh, yeah, we totally had a Zoom issue, you're gone. Johnny would endorse the idea. Johnny would be fine with it. So, yes, Pants Maestro,
Johnny's like, what? I guess.
I got shopping to do.
I could either do nothing here or do nothing at home. But it's up to you, Aaron.
just roll 4 feet away. That's my day. I'm either going to be here or going to roll 4 feet away.
accept your offer. You throw $400 at Steel Toe, I will 100% have a Zoom issue and kick Johnny off today.
Wow. Sounds like a really important
when
part
I
of the
say
program.
that
Yes.
Sounds like Johnny really adds a lot to the table.
that goal is the most important thing to this program,
He ain't lying.
you think I'm fucking bluffing?
No, we don't.
You think I wouldn't throw Johnny off the show?
No, we know.
Here's what we'll do. We'll have a money race. The people who want Johnny to stay.
I like that he
throw
says
in-
like he's got a little treat for us.
Yes.
Ooh, here's what I'll do, and we think, ooh, what goodies do we get today, Aaron? Oh, get out of town! A money race. I've been every morning I come on here, and my wife says to me, "You think Aaron's gonna have a money race today?" And I say, "I doubt it." But today, you know what? She was right. Am I not the luckiest boy in all of Minnesota? I get to give money to you, Aaron.
What's a money
And
race?
Pete-
Is that some Minnesota thing?
Oh, I'll tell you. It's funny you should ask, Electra. I'm so glad that I get to tell you.
Good, good.
Oh, you know what? Let's see if Aaron tells us first.
in money. The people who want Johnny to go, throw in money. And by the time we hit the goal, whoever has more, that's who's going to win.
Oh.
Johnny's life hangs in the balance.
All right, guys. You know what we got to do? You know what would make a great show today? All right. Here we go. Our goal for the rest of the show is $10,000. Winner decides if Electra gets kicked off or not. All right? So start giving me money, and then you win by deciding if Electra, who barely talks on the show, gets to talk even less. Johnny isn't on this show. Every 40 minutes, Johnny adds a, oh, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, Johnny isn't on the show, and Aaron is manipulating these people into throwing money at him to be like, get rid of Johnny. No, we want Johnny. We love Johnny. Make him stay. And they're fighting in the chat. Like, I'm going to give more money. No, I'm going to give more money. And then, of course, someone gave $300, and Aaron was like, good enough. See you, Johnny. It was less than the agreed upon amount, but whatever.
Yes. One $100 donation, and I'll just flick Electra off the desk here. Just flick, and she'll be gone.
But I guess if we did that as a bit once, it would be like whatever. This is Aaron's every day.
Twice a day.
What
Twice a
today can I do for money? Do you want me to kick Johnny off the show? Do you want me to eat a stick of butter? Do you want me to eat dog treats? What is it? You tell me what you want, and I will tap dance for you.
We haven't talked about this on air, Mike, but it's actually like YouTube capitulated to the goal, because every day now when you set up a goal or on a show with Blind Mike, I'm sure this with channels like this, there's a goal button, and you can set an actual goal now on YouTube.
I was
He won.
disappointed.
He won, Mike.
Yes, Aaron's style is winning now. Now, unfortunately, Casey Day asked me if he wanted to set a goal, And I said, yes, please set it at $120,000. And for some reason, YouTube found that to be ridiculous. They wouldn't allow that as a number, unfortunately. So
the peak is 5,000, and I think we almost hit that with the goal. So it would be like it's almost attainable, you know. Like they won't let you put something mockable. But I did think of maybe putting like a dollar goal just to see what happens when the goal's achieved. Like, what does YouTube do? Is there fireworks? Or, you know, so maybe next week or 2 weeks we can try it.
Well, the goal today is 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, folks. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. What do you say?
I think we're at. I think you're only 30 away now.
Keep going, people! Hurry! Hurry! We'll kick Electra in the teeth if we hit the goal. Come on, let's go!
And kick her other places too. All right, this next one's called.
I didn't hear Electra laugh. I'm kidding, by the way. I hope she knows.
I know.
That's better. All right.
Yeah. Really launch into the laughter for us when we mock you.
Well, especially when I make a domestic violence joke.
Yes.
Mainly when I need you.
Oh, see, now the horn isn't such a bad idea. All right, this one's called Endless Payoff.
Oh, so this is like Aaron getting to where it's like, just get to it, man. We got it.
And their time zones. Oh boy. Oh boy.
What?
Sorry, buddy.
What?
Aaron,
Is this thing working? Hello?
me and Johnny are
Okay.
asking the same
Thank you.
question. The fuck's
Now,
going on?
are you now?
Still funnier than the Marin podcast. Hey,
Hey, look at the gears turn in this brain of his. It's just kick him off. We all know what you're building to, Aaron. You hit the goal. Get rid of Johnny. Whatever. Look at this fucking mind at work, where he's like, "How do I spin the yarn of comedy here? How do I mold this into another steel toe masterpiece?"
you know, a real radio guy would do the opposite and like have the vote to stay and then pretend like he was going to kick him off. No, he can't do that.
How does
gotta
a
leave.
day off grab you? Are you going to take it as an insult, or are you going
doesn't
to
matter.
take
He's
it
already agreed to
as,
it.
Well, this fucking rules.
I wonder what way they picked Mike.
I got a day off.
Who gives a shit? He's already, he said he'll do. Johnny does not give a fuck.
No stakes is what you're saying. There are no
Whatever. Kick me off. Don't just tell me where I'm going.
Between you, me, and the birds, I'm probably the second one.
Really? Well,
These are two guys who really care about their show, by the way.
Pan-
Two guys who are really committed to where they're both like, hey, if we get money, we could do a 4-minute show. Who gives it? As long as you're giving us money. These are two guys passionate about broadcasting.
The level of calling it in by Aaron Imholt is not talked about enough. And I think on the next video, he talks about how little.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The calling it in by this guy is amazing.
Ants Maestro with $300 says, let Johnny spend time
Pants
with his family
What are you doing?
from Pants.
Oh,
Now,
is that Aaron being cute again? I'm just a stinker. Hey, Johnny, you don't blame me when I kick you off. I'm just a cutie pie. I blame Pants Maestro. That's who you have a beef with. Why does he do that voice? It's infuriating. I am seething. You know what? Mark me down as seething.
Hold on. Electra, write it down. Mike's seething.
Yeah,
We need to
jot that down, Electra, for the minutes.
I got it.
At an hour 27, Mike became seething.
without
Is this thing working?
hold on, without speaking, show us how you feel about that. And this will test your comedic ability.
Aaron, it's up to you. You're supposed to kick him off. Let's not do. Okay, Johnny's not fun. Oh no, Johnny Crutches isn't funny. The man has enough problems. You kick him off. Why does he have to do it? The funny thing would actually be if Aaron was like, hey, you know, Johnny, say goodbye to the people or give your final thoughts for the day or whatever, and then mid-sentence, Aaron cut him off and got rid of him. It's again, I'm not saying we're making comedy gold here, but it's something. Aaron instead, this just doesn't end where he's like, come on, Johnny. Comedy's over here. Come on, bud. Come on. What do you got? You got a laugh for us? Let's go, Johnny. Come on. Come on.
I think we got a Brewster's Million situation with this pants guy because $300, like this is the worst $300 ever spent in the history of $300.
That's definitely true. Johnny doesn't talk. Pants Maestro, give you money elsewhere. Johnny doesn't talk, isn't it? You wouldn't notice he's on the show.
That's 600 Dogecoin, you idiot. What are you doing?
No, that's not. No, that's not the
No.
the right. The right answer would have been. Let's see if the chat gets it. Chat. How if Johnny were happy to have the day off?
Hey, Aaron, you do it. This is like if Jerry Seinfeld was like, all right, crowd, what do you think the punchline is? I don't know, man. We came to see you.
Yeah. Corn nuts. What do you guys think?
Let's poll the audience. What does everyone think would be funny here? Aaron, you do it. You got all the buttons in front of you. Kick this crippled cocksucker off. You got your money. Kick this poor, limpy bastard out of here.
The guy's not even getting his money worth. He paid $300 and
That
he
would
didn't
be.
even...
Listen, kick this MS-ridden son of a bitch out to the streets and make some comedy gold here. We're waiting. Time is valuable.
YouTube, you hear the horn? It was satire.
I bet.
How would he
Without
emote without
speaking.
speaking?
I want to see if anybody gets.
Oh,
You already said he would prefer to go. You really don't listen to.
We got it. Yes. Hold on. Go back just a little bit. I agree with this chatter. Man, Johnny said he would go. It is now on you to expel him.
I want to see if anybody gets. He already said he would prefer to
Amazingly, we
go.
all
You
got
really don't listen to it. It's called setting him up for the bit. Nana's Clams really doesn't understand how this works.
Nana's Clams, he does not get this highbrow comedy that I'm doing.
That's my favorite version of you doing Aaron, is when he thinks he's better than everyone. Yes.
Nana's Clams, you don't have the intellectual comedy mind that I do. Well, I'm going to kick this guy off the screen in about 4 minutes.
It turns into Billy Zane from Titanic.
That's funny because Nana's Clams just posted in your chat. Here.
Probably not getting the joke we were doing, like an idiot.
Yes. The claim is Aaron misreads chats. Oh, no. Yes, he does. It's not-
I was
You
bad
think
at
so?
Yes.
Jesus.
Wow, did not see that coming, says Triple N. Cry.
Yeah.
Elza Belza says he would cry. No, not if he's looking forward to a day off.
Yeah, they know. Aaron, they know he's not going to cry. They're very aware. They're referencing the time he cried before and the time he cried before that. They don't think he's going to cry about that. Let's get to it. Come on.
McBuster said off. Another person says cry. Yeah, Von Kaiser says log off. Chair spinning and camera turned off. King Kong Dong says you would be jerking it. Fauci's Pangolin says clicked off.
Hold on, Aaron. I know you're probably making your way to this punchline, but could you read about 70 or 80 more chats, please? Please tell me what everyone in the chat says first. What did Pangolin say?
It was Fauci's Pangolin. I like that name.
Fauci's Pangolin. What did he have to say? Aaron, we're listening to you instead of reading the chat. So you do something. Come up with something. Come on.
Make that a restaurant. I'd eat in Fauci's.
Fauci's Pangolin? That is fun.
Just wouldn't eat the Asian food, but if it's got American, you know.
Hands turn off the computer, cold shutdown. Now, here's what I was thinking. I was thinking if you were to describe how you felt about getting a day off because someone donated a shitload of money, you would just click off and leave without saying.
Yeah, that's what one of the chatters said. Why don't you do that? Does he not have the ability?
Pants guy, $300. You're not getting results. I mean,
that's true. Pants Maestro should demand some efficiency here. Hey, I ponied up the money. This crippled prick should be out of here by now. We've given him 5 extra minutes.
Give him a bad setup for $300 that we're suffering through. Thanks a lot, Pants guy.
You would just go, fuck you guys. I'm out of here.
That would be rude. Who would do that?
It would be really rude. And, if
I'm almost empathizing with Aaron a little bit. Johnny is not taking the hint here.
He's lit up a cigarette. He's like chilling.
Johnny, roll away. Come on.
In the middle of talking. And I was... there he goes.
mercifully getting to the end of the bit.
A little more monster there for you.
All
I
right.
hope you like that, Aaron. All right, now we got the 4-year anniversary, Mike.
Okay.
Aaron, let me see. I don't see any super chats, so let's just move right on to that. Yes, this is amazing.
What are you, not super chatting us, you clowns?
Yeah.
That's the only reason we're here.
Wait, I think there is actually one. People, here's the thing. You can super chat support the David Collins show, and then Mike has to read it and stop the show every time. Do that.
Oh, right. Yeah. You guys probably don't want to support this show, but if you want to support the David Collins, Drive Time David Collins, which is
start over. God damn it.
Drive Time David Collins, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every Wednesday here on this channel. Feel free to super chat us.
Yeah, there's
Electra,
a
you
bunch of
ready?
super chats. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Okay, here we go.
Born ready.
Well, thank God.
Chunkster, $2. Mike, promote the David Collins show again.
You bastards. You set me up for this.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Strangeland77 for $4.99. Another great show. You guys always do an amazing job.
Oh, you're too kind. Get out of here.
So kind.
Yeah, that
Thank you,
doesn't does not compute.
Kirkland Red 100s for $1.99. Aaron said ethnically cleanse the chat today.
Hello.
Good to know.
This chat's a regular Rwanda up in there.
I can see him. Aaron's quite the edgelord. Aaron is who Jezelnik and Marin should have been bitching about. Because he fits the mold that they're talking about.
That hairline is the biggest edgelord I've ever seen. Just to go online with that hairline is amazing. All right, we got a few more here.
And Dang Lizard for €2. The beggy monster is the king of the money race.
And one
Race for me, puppets.
one gifted sub from Donkey Kong. And who did that go to? Donkey Kongington, I'm sorry.
That went to Box Eating Dad.
Yay, Box Eating Dad, congratulations.
Goody. Boxing Dad wasn't a member?
That's...
Wait, he's a Patreon member.
Ah. Well, now
Kind
he's
of a
got
waste. Kind of a waste. But good, nice job, Boxing Dad, and thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, DJ Electrify. And now it's time for the 4-year anniversary show. I'm sure so much went into this, Mike, that I won't even be able to handle the production value and content within.
There's a lot of prep. So you guys might remember, Aaron Imholt celebrated his 10th anniversary in August of this year. So what comes next? You guys probably guessed it. Obviously, in November, he has his 4th anniversary.
Makes no sense.
Well, I guess this is the anniversary of when he got kicked off the radio.
Okay.
Which I don't know why you would celebrate that, but I get 4 years of being online. Aaron always makes the distinction that he's talking to internet people now. So he suffered through 4 years of that. And you're right, Casey. He put a tremendous amount of work into this. So I felt it was only right to pay him the proper respect for all the work that he put into it by acknowledging the 4-year anniversary.
Welcome, guys. It's Black Friday. This isn't going to be a regular show. We're not going to be going over all the news. We got some stuff, we got some filler that will
Hold on. Filler. This part we talked about on this little piggy on Friday when I was over there, and the audacity to say that to your to literally say to your audience, like, we've got some horse shit I don't care about that we can get to if you want me
It's
to,
amazing.
I guess, but really we're here for one purpose. So so for me today, let's, I guess, the Jezelnik Marin stuff and the Steel Toe stuff, that would be the filler of the program. Let's find out the real reason we're all here today.
throw in here. But here's what today is. Today is number 1, going down memory lane.
Okay,
We're going to take your super chats and your Rumble
Oh, wait a
rants.
minute.
That's memory lane for
It's
sure.
I think Carl
That's
or
all I can
someone-
remember.
Carl or someone said, I like that it's not even part of number 2. It's not number 1. He injects super. He goes, number 1, memory lane, where you can, super chat us and Rumble rant us if you want. So
I can't. Sorry,
go ahead, Casey.
I can't get over the filler thing. Imagine Led
It's
Zeppelin.
so insulting to everyone.
Check out Stairway to Heaven, then there's a couple songs, and then there's Kashmir. The ones in the middle, don't worry about.
It's a bunch of horse shit we threw on there to call it an album. And bingo bango, you pay us $20 and there you go.
You think it, you don't say it. God damn.
Like,
sorry to interrupt you.
Like we have a bunch of content to get us through the time between super chats. And then he says, like, hey, it's a 4-year anniversary show, so we walk down memory lane. I'm not really into it, but you know what? Like, as a guy that has not been around for the duration of Steel Toe's time on the internet, I actually might have been interested in being like it's something I would probably never do, is a clip show of our own podcast, where I'm like, remember when Craig said this, gang, and then we play a clip? It's something I would probably never do. But there are people here that are subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, folks. That were not here years ago. So, like, maybe if we talked about old clips, it would be beneficial to them in the sense that, like, they would now know new episodes to look up and be like, oh, that actually does interest me. I'll go back and find that. I'm totally fine with that. The idea that Aaron prepared nothing. Aaron doesn't have any of those moments to play. What he says is, here's the goal for the show today. You guys super chat us and go, hey, Aaron, remember when April was on the show? And then Aaron goes, oh, yeah, I remember. Thanks for the $10. That's the premise of today's episode.
Worst Chris Farley show ever.
The big 4-year anniversary.
I start to realize now after you said that like 3 years and 8 months of this 4 years, there's a person now accusing him of sucking another man. So yeah, I wouldn't want to go back.
And headbutting her, by the way.
I know. Well, we got 4 months of clips to choose from for our 4 year.
Your PayPals and your Venmos, and you throw in a little either a memory or a question or whatever, and we'll go through that. We'll also tear open some envelopes, and basically each $100 will be an hour up to 6 hours.
Remember when Aaron hot tubbed with the Ricadas? Oh, I remember.
Remember that floating condom, Aaron?
If we get up to $600 today, we'll go till noon. Otherwise, 200 to get to 8 o'clock, 300 to get to 9, 400 to get to 10.
Yes.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
600 to get to noon.
Has there ever been a show? Has there ever been a show that dealt more in numbers?
Not math shows are like.
I'm sure there are mathematical shows that are.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is like too many numbers, man.
I can't follow it.
That's how we'll do it today. And we've got 4 guests. 4-year anniversary, 4 guests. Those start at 8 o'clock.
He's addicted to numbers.
We compared him to Cookie Monster last week. And he's a Sesame Street character. We've got 4 guests to get us through 6 hours. Anyone else saw me almost do 7, but
at 100 an hour, people. God.
Now,
So you can
if you leave the goal at 8 a.m. and give $20, how much more money does Aaron have to make to get to noon?
I thought you were going to say if you're walking on a train giving the goal and it goes, if you're walking 5 miles faster than the speed of light, does the goal still get the money?
If you leave St. Cloud, Minnesota.
is this show
Goal
today,
math, baby.
me getting up early after Thanksgiving and all that, complete
man.
money grab. 100% money grab.
I'm sorry, what? What are we watching? Aaron, first of all, talking like he's a coal miner. Like, I got up Black Friday morning, which we all know is an international holiday that everyone gets off work. But by the way, like, it's actually a good day to be like everyone's home. Like, it's actually a smart day for you to be podcasting.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, I woke up at the crack of dawn this morning and have to sit here and talk to you people. For which you must pay me money. I want to grab your money. To call it a complete money grab is so insulting. And I said this the other day, too. We're going to get past the clips I already talked about on this little piggy, don't worry. But just to reiterate that, it is so insulting. Like, to once in a while be like, oh, yeah, this thing we're doing, total money grab, by the way. Like, I'm sure I did something like that when we did the goal show because I was kidding. Like, people did not need to donate to me to keep the lights on. If you do it tongue in cheek once in a while, totally fine. This is actually a money grab. It doesn't make it more enjoyable that Aaron's being honest with us. He's like, no, what do you mean? I'm robbing you. My hand's in your pocket. I'm taking your wallet out and I'm filing through it. A few credit cards. These seem like they should be mine. I'm taking your cash. But what? Why are you so mad? I'm being honest with you.
It reminds me of Schindler's List when that commandant started being nice, but then he was like, no, not going to be nice. Sort of the same attitude.
I've been saying this for years. And do I think it's right that Chad had his Patreon taken down? No, I don't think
so this
it's
is
right.
him talking about the Dabbleverse, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, called Dabbleverse.
Okay, yeah. So if you don't know, Chad Zumock had his Patreon taken down. Him and Cardiff had a fight about this yesterday. In fact, do we have any gasp sounds or like shock sounds to describe? Okay, well, not yet.
Okay. Just identifying it, boss.
Chad Zumock and Cardiff Electric were on my buddy Tuki's show, Be Dabbling Live, yesterday. And they argued about Chad Zumock getting his Patreon taken down. And I have to tell you, I disagree with Cardiff Electric. Yes, thank you. That was worth it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I think we should, even though Chad has tried to get Cardiff's Patreon taken down or YouTube taken down or whatever, like Chad has pulled this shit in the past. I still think we should all say, like, it's shitty of people like Stuttering John or the Legend or whoever is doing it to try and get Chad's Patreon taken down. Aaron actually sides with Cardiff Electric here. And like, he's making a point that I understand. I just don't totally agree with him. But let's get into it. This is Aaron talking about the whole Dabbleverse landscape.
People should do that. But Chad made his bet on this one. Chad made fun of this guy, or not. It wasn't making fun. That's the problem. Chad personally went after this guy, the Legend. Chad personally went after, the Stuttering John. Why you would, anyone who has their channel put at risk because of Stuttering John, let me go on record and say this, fucking deserves it. If you've ever had anything taken away because, well, I was talking about Stuttering John and you deserve to lose your channel because you're not.
Okay, so that's where I don't agree. I kind of agree with him up to that. Like, if I make the title something about John's kids, he's going to strike me. You know what I mean? Like, I just know that's going to happen because that's how John operates. So in a way, I'm asking for it. But to say, good. Like, good. I'm glad John behaves that way. That's where Aaron is wrong. Like, you don't deserve, because there are other people that have just made fun of John and John has taken the same route. So that's where it's wrong. And that's where you shouldn't celebrate anyone getting their Patreon taken down, even if they're a dickhead who might deserve it. Like, as a creator, you should say, well, is a slippery slope. Like, Chad titling his fucking YouTube whatever the fuck he did, titling a video on his Patreon or his YouTube something dumb, it doesn't mean that he should have his income erased. That video should be taken down, and maybe they throw a warning at him or whatever, but it shouldn't be this thing where you build up an audience somewhere. I don't know how many subscribers Chad had, but like, if you build up an audience on Patreon, me as a Patreon user, as a guy that has a Patreon, I don't think that's right. If tomorrow someone can decide I didn't like that he said this, let me take his income away, I still think that's wrong, even though Chad might deserve it on some level.
Yeah, it was $2,700 a month he lost, according to Chadley.
That's good. That's good. That's good money.
That hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts. And he's a comedian, a working comedian, and not the greatest title, but this is where flexibility needs to come in with these goddamn companies, because we're giving a product to people who are liking the product. And then you're going to come in and say, fuck you? I mean,
I don't get why they can't send an email that's like, hey, obviously we don't tolerate this. If something like this happens again, whatever the example is. I don't even know what Chad did. He said that something about John's kid in the title or something.
Yeah, he just said his kid has a D.
Yeah, so I think you could say dick.
or
but-
lost it. You know?
But-
I don't want this is not my channel. I don't want
I
to come
appreciate it.
after because
I appreciate it. But like I think Patreon could send Chad an email and be like, you do this again, we're taking your channel down. I don't get why we've gone past that, where it's just like, well, you're gone forever now. Sorry.
Yeah, the market inefficiency in these streaming services or where we broadcast from is just communication. The first one that figures out just to communicate with us what they want, and then we will give them the results. We don't want to lose our channels or shows or anything. We'll change, but you don't like correct behavior. You correct behavior by taking channels in 90-day suspensions. Then we leave and we go do other things. And so,
Right, no matter how edgy or whatever Chad wants to be, I imagine if Patreon sent him an email saying we can't allow this, Chad would have taken it down.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
He
if
took
they
it
said
down,
we're taking your channel away, then Chad would. And if he didn't, then Patreon could do what they want. But I don't get why there can't be like a, hey, just so you know, these are our rules.
It's just bad business, man. Just bad business.
Yeah, so I don't agree because, and my general philosophy on this is Cardiff or Aaron or whatever. One day you guys might say something where people can take your shit away, and then someone else can go, yeah, but they said it was no big deal when Chad lost his channel, so maybe they deserve it. You know, that's where it's a slippery slope. But.
Well, I mean, Cardiff lost his channel, and I feel the same fucking sympathy for him that he shouldn't have lost his goddamn channel for a mistake that, like, how many hundreds
Well, again,
of
with
hours...
Chad, it wasn't a mistake. Chad did that on purpose.
No,
So it wasn't like a mistake, but I still don't get why you can't be like, hey, Chad, fucking knock that off, you know, instead of just taking it away from him immediately. But
yeah, it makes
Creative, you're not interesting, you're not talented, and you shouldn't have a show.
Oh.
It's over, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. This might be a little more. I thought we were having a nuanced discussion about Chad Zumock losing his channel. I forgot that it was actually a little more about this. It was more about Aaron trying to get into the Dabbleverse and failing at it, I guess.
Yeah. Talentless, horrible show. Never stop me, Aaron. Hell.
You guys. Dabbleverse guys. It's over. The views are all down. The money's all down. You're all eating each other for the last year.
Mine aren't.
You're killing it.
My views aren't down. My money isn't down. So I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else. Like, I'm doing okay. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, you bring... Oh, I'm not going to talk about it. You bring new people into the thing. So, of course, you're like a stream into the ocean.
Fucking done, guys. I mean, you got podcasts out there that are tribute podcasts of tribute podcasts of tribute podcasts that are doing 30 people at a time.
What does that mean? I'm trying to figure out who he's talking about. What is a tribute podcast? I'm not. It seems like you're being sarcastic. I'm actually asking.
No, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking. Maybe he's talking about.
Podcast.
Is he? Because he's talking about a bunch of people at a time. So maybe he's talking about panel shows where there's just like 12 people on panel.
But that's a tribute to what?
I don't know. I have no idea what the tribute means. But Electra, your thoughts? What is tribute channel?
I think a tribute channel is one that watches other people's shows and then talks about it.
We're paying tribute to Aaron Imhold right now.
God damn it.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yes, Aaron, we are commemorating your great work.
Yes, and thanks, chat, for all paying tribute to us right now. Thank you.
You think that's what Aaron actually...
It's got to be. She nailed it.
Me, Patrick Melton, Carl, Tukey, whoever else... We're all paying tribute. We're paying homage to Aaron Imhold. We salute you, Steel Toe.
I just see Aaron Imhold on the top of a fucking pyramid taking heads of other podcasters as tribute. Like a Mayan god. Aaron's firing.
Oh yeah, so I didn't know this story actually. I mean, I knew Aaron got fired for going after some woman at another radio station. That's the extent of what I knew. And people called it bullying. I wonder, if this was 4 years ago, I wonder if this is a story I talked about not knowing who Aaron was. It feels right in my wheelhouse. Cancel culture at that time, where like I might have defended Aaron Imhold. I have no idea if it was a big enough story. But I didn't know all the details, so I was actually interested in hearing about it. And this is where Aaron gets a little delusional as far as his standing in the world.
Really quick, Chat is no longer calling it goal; they're calling it tribute payments. So just keep that.
Oh, good.
Right.
Tribute.
I will say this: Patrick Melton more gifted than Heather at Laser 103.3 because at least he could grab onto my coattails. Well, grab onto my cock too. Let's make it what he really wants to do.
Oh,
grab
nice.
onto my
Oh, nice, Aaron. You got him. I like that. He was kind of under your breath. So, where is he even really talking to us? That's pretty good.
Under the breath humor is a very underrated form of humor.
Hey, guys, he's grabbing onto my cock. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to yank my cock.
coattails, and he made something out of it. I mean, he's currently in the process of burning it down and losing his mind, which is also fun to watch. But he had a brief,
I have to ask, because I don't know Patrick Melton's show that well. I actually knew about Patrick Melton a long time ago because he interviewed Dan Ninen, which we used his clips in the Dan Ninen episode of Why You Laughing. So that's how I found Patrick Melton. And then I knew of him because of like all the Red Bars stuff and everything. But I wasn't too well versed in his world or anything. And then now I know like people in the Dabbleverse and people that watch Steel Toe and stuff talk about him. Is Patrick like suddenly doing very poorly? Because I hear Aaron talk about it every day. I'm actually there might be something I'm missing. Guys in the chat or in the comments, let me know. I'm open-minded. You guys know here, I have no loyalty to anyone. I'm an open-minded guy. Except that Carl, who I keep defending, despite every time he betrays me. But I'm actually curious about Patrick Melton because I go on to listen to Aaron all the time. And he's always talking about how Patrick is failing. He seems, when I've interacted with him, he seems fine to me. He seems happy, but that's not how Aaron portrays it.
1 year run where he could make something of tying himself to my coattails. Heather couldn't even do that. I became the biggest story in radio, every publication.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, it's important. I'm glad you paused there because
Unbelievable.
Biggest story in radio. Again, is it possible I talked about it? I may have talked about it. I just don't remember doing it. The name Steel Toe and a radio show from Minnesota doesn't sound at all familiar to me. So I don't know how big this story got. He says it was the biggest story in radio, which makes me feel like I would have heard about it. So maybe some of the publications I usually check out covered it. Let's hear who talked about the biggest story in radio. And boy, is this, if nothing else has shown you the closed world that the bubble that Aaron lives in. This should do it.
Also quite the indictment on radio.
Minneapolis Star Tribune, Des Moines Register, newspapers,
Oh, man.
radio.
Hold on. Whoa. Listen, who gives a fuck about the Minneapolis Star Tribune? That's local horseshit. You're telling me, Aaron, let me get this. Let me, for a goddamn second, get this right. The Des Moines Register covered this? You get right the fuck out of here right now, mister. I don't buy it. You made the front page of the Des Moines Register? Get out of town.
Corn people knew about you.
The Des Moines Register.
David Collins, that was his first brush with any sort of famous person. He's like, who is this guy? Why
Can
is
you
he in my
imagine
paper?
anyone with a straight face saying this was the biggest story in all of radio? I was featured in the Minneapolis Star Tribune, the Des Moines Register, and he rattles them off like he's saying the Post, the Times, USA Today,
Reuters.
And by the way, he's not just naming local newspapers. He's naming local newspapers circa the year 2020. What world does he live? Maybe Minnesota is totally different, where everyone still walks to the end of their driveway and gets the morning newspaper, the Minneapolis Star, and they're like, "My stars! They fired Aaron Imholt? Let's protest!"
You know, this is about as exciting news as we got that we're number 3 podcast in Myanmar. Congratulations, DJ Electra. We're at number 3.
You guys are?
Yes.
Yay.
That's big news.
Yeah, the war-torn, ravaged country of Myanmar. We're number 3 in podcasting, baby.
Alert the Des Moines Register.
Podcasts, everything. They're talking about me. They're not talking about Heather.
Listen, that bitch can go kick rocks. Who's the Minneapolis Star talking about? That's who has their finger on the pulse of today's media.
This one is called April.
Oh yeah, so we get a little insight into him talking about April, and he's fantasizing about what he could have done differently with April. This is that was the interesting part of this 4th anniversary show. Is it's all like fantasy camp. It was essentially 4 hours or whatever of Aaron going like, man, imagine if I stayed in radio. Or imagine if I still had all my co-hosts. Or imagine if my wife didn't leave me. Could you imagine? What a mystical world that would be. And this was my favorite part of that.
Imagine if I stole the guy instead of them stealing my wife.
And not once does he ask, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done drugs with the Ricadas. Maybe I shouldn't have headbutted my wife. Maybe I shouldn't have done all these things. It's all like, maybe all these people made the wrong decisions.
Her head got in the way. I was just headbutting in the wind, and she just walked right into it.
I mean, Aaron, like, he's like, maybe I should have done that, but it's like so minor compared to all the things he actually did to affect his career. It's as he would say, coping, I guess.
Definitely coping.
Probably the best thing in the world would have been she stayed at the job she was at. She paves her own path work-wise, and I do this. But we were kind of codependent, and we were in love, and we wanted to be around each other all the time.
Aaron almost being honest here for a second. I like that. I can listen to this. And this is, by the way, what you're hearing now. Like, I would hear this stuff, and I would say, like, yeah, maybe there's moments of like douching it, but he seems like a fine broadcast. I didn't realize the delusion because he would mask it with stuff like you just heard.
Well, that was my part of it. I think her part of it, she wanted to be Mrs. Steeltoe.
Okay.
Mike, you can't see it, but he put that in quotes.
All right. Listen, I know the front page of the Des Moines Register says, new Miss, he's with her, ? Italics. The Des Moines Register was a buzz, and they were like, Aaron could do so much better. But you know, that gold-digging whore, April, was like, God, how can I sink my hooks into #1 in St. Cloud? She didn't want to be Mrs. Imholt. She wanted to be Mrs. Steeltoe. Can you imagine the ego on this maniac? That is crazy. Like, listen, we talked about Tony Hinchcliffe earlier. He's got an ego on him. I don't think even Tony Hinchcliffe would be like, yeah, she just wanted to be Mrs. Kill Tony, you know? Which he would have a right to. That podcast gets millions of views every week. Aaron has a podcast with my numbers. Like, we essentially have the same number of people watching us. And I got to tell you, pussy's not always throwing itself at me. Please, Mike, marry me. Not for you. I just want to be Mrs. Project. I don't care about the blind Mike part so much.
Yeah, that Des Moines Gazette title was Beauty and the Begging Beast. Yeah.
She wanted to be April Steeltoe. If she could have made her name April Steeltoe instead of April Imholt, she might have done that.
I don't think that would sound really ridiculous, Aaron. I don't think she would have done that.
Yeah, women like steel toe. Yeah, they want toe in their last name. That's what women want.
Aaron and Mrs. Steeltoe, April Steeltoe.
I think that was alluring to her, and I don't mean that in like a bad way, like she's a bad person for that. I just mean
what? Listen, she's a gold-digging whore who just wanted me for my massively successful radio show. And I want to be clear here. You might think there's a possibility I mean that as a put-down. Well, let me wipe that right out of your mind. Au contraire, my friend. No chance. I think that's a very positive attribute. So I want to be clear. I don't think that's a negative. I actually think it's a positive thing that April looked at me and said, maybe I can rise to the heights of Mrs. Steeltoe. I don't find that to be sinister or creepy or weird or just offensive to Aaron as a man. I'm glad you didn't mean anything negative by it. In this fantasy that you've created. I don't know April. I've watched very little of her when she was on that show. So I don't know what the response would be. But I would love to see her react to that clip.
Yes, all of it.
Just the vomit-inducing moment that would be for anyone. Could you imagine if I said about the skirt? I was like, she's probably just with me for the glitz and the glamour of being Mrs. Why Are You Laughing?
Mrs. Project.
It's so crazy.
She liked that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
That makes no sense. All right,
Well, no,
Aaron's
it makes sense if you are, I don't know, Joe Rogan. You know
Michael
what I mean?
Jordan, maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense if you are a celebrity. It does not make sense if you have a radio show that was arguably number one in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Yes.
I don't think that comes. Aaron just goes to. He's like, God damn, can't I just be a person for one day? Fine, I'll sign your autographs.
Wife.
When can I just get back to being Aaron and I don't have to be Mr. Steel Toe?
God, think of the last two things he's told us. That I'm part of the national news, and this woman only wants me for my fame and name. Dude, it's the weirdest.
Listen, after that Des Moines Register article, it was raining pussy on Aaron. He couldn't fight it.
It was raining future steel toes because they all want my name. Aaron's greed, I think I said,
To work today. There's all the links. It's our 4-year anniversary of leaving radio.
What does
and coming to the internet. Wait,
didn't he get fired? Leaving?
Yeah, he left. It was amicable. Both at the same time. An executive from the radio station and Aaron, the executive said, "All right, Aaron, let's both say what we're thinking on 3. 1, 2," and then they both said, "I should leave and start an internet show." And they're like, "Hey, samesies."
Let me get you some Stonies coupons for your trip out of here. Also, he left the marriage too. He just likes saying he leaves things that leave him.
Yeah, he just he one day decided maybe I should leave.
Yes, all my ex-girlfriends left me too. All my jobs left me. Everyone left me.
We've survived 4 years so far. And
what does that mean, Aaron?
Hopefully that can continue. Today, total money grab.
Yes, you've learned well, Aaron. Feed me.
Total money grab.
My
today.
belly is getting full, Aaron. Tell them again. It's for selfish purposes. Yes.
We are
money grab. Don't even have the distraction of content, Aaron. Feed me.
Content only takes from the money, Aaron.
For envelopes.
It is true. The more filler he plays, the less time he can beg for money. It's logical the way his mind works.
Eventually, like 2 years from now, the fill will just be blah, blah, blah. Literally the words blah, blah,
Just
blah.
noise.
All right, time to get to the goal. Yes.
I'll just have a time. I'll have a countdown, and then every 8 minutes, he'll be like, hey, Streamlabs, Super Chats, Rumble Rants.
All right, back to Nintendo, guys.
Happy.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a gamer. He just doesn't know it. He's a game streamer. He needs to be like streaming in between the DSP sort of money grabs. He's Dark Side Phil. Yeah.
Who are these podcasts played a clip of him? That Dark Side Phil? I've heard that comparison. It's crazy how similar. Yes. Like, literally, like that Dark Side Phil guy will be like, all right, guys, I think it'd be really cool if you guys each donated $20. Like, he says shit that Aaron has taken.
Yeah. But Dark Side Phil's great because he will go on. We used to cover him on Puzzle Box, and he will go on and complain about the money he didn't get yesterday for the whole show, and what he couldn't buy and what he.
That's what Aaron does.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
It's
crazy.
So
yes, the birds of a feather.
Anniversary envelopes. That's what we're doing this for. 100%. We are doing this show to make money on a short week. so we don't lose our ass taking 2 days.
But DSP doesn't have like the grandiose things that this guy like. DSP is like, send me some money and I'll buy a controller. Send me some money, I'll buy some new glasses. Like it's like Wheel of Fortune donation. Like you get to pick the prize.
Right.
This is just like in general, give me hundreds of dollars.
gimme. Can you go back like 5 or 10 seconds? I just want to hear something Aaron said there at the end.
Looking for happy anniversary envelopes. That's what we're doing this for. 100% we are doing this show to make money on a short week so we don't lose our ass taking 2 days off.
2 days off. So maybe someone in the chat can correct me. He took 1 day off. He took Thursday off.
He's addicted.
And actually, if you think about it, he took no days off because this was a Rumble Friday, yet he stayed on YouTube and all other platforms. So he did the same amount of shows. What does he mean 2 days off? He took He didn't beg for money on Thanksgiving.
Wait,
He was down at the soup kitchen with the other beggars.
Maybe he thinks each show is a day. So if I do 2 shows in a day, that's 2 days. So he missed 2 days because it's 2 shows.
I don't know if he usually does a Thursday night show though.
Chat should know. Chat, let us know. Does he do a Thursday night show?
This guy in numbers. It's never easy with him.
No.
What today is. And, of course, with your envelopes, PayPal, Streamlabs, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble Rants, you get to ask whatever you want.
Instead of a beautiful mind, it's an ugly mind with her.
You mean it, Aaron? You mean I can ask whatever I want? All right. Hey, Aaron, did you headbutt your wife? Like, really?
That cock taste.
Are you gonna read anything, Aaron, if I pay you money? Because I don't think you will.
No.
About the anniversary.
You can read anything you want.
We are
what a delicious treat that is for the beggy monster.
Also, it does bring up a point. My favorite segments of BMP used to be where Blind Mike would answer questions. Can you bring that back at some point? I like that. That was fun.
Only if you pay me.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Only if people send me money, because that's the only reason a show is worth doing. That is true. You know what? I did that. I never thought of this. I did that before the show was monetized on a week where like I didn't have that much to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So like I literally did what Aaron was doing for no money and then stopped once I was like, all right, people are actually paying for this. We gotta we gotta put a move on here. And Aaron has the exact opposite, where he's like, oh no, you pay me so that I do nothing.
$80 away from going Rumble exclusive, and it has to come in the next 3 minutes. Otherwise,
it didn't.
I'm having a few.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
It didn't.
Where are you now, Pants Man?
Feeling that I might only be working another hour today.
Well,
I
Aaron,
think
don't
the
threaten us
audience-
like that.
Calling this work, what you're doing.
Want for an anniversary show is lacking, and the only thing making this anniversary show happen is my own greed. That might be it.
Yeah,
It
not a
might.
great reason to broadcast.
I hate when he thinks he has these weird insights on himself that are really honest, because they're just gross. We all know it. It's
He gets to them last.
Yeah, he's the last one at the party.
Yeah, you're right. Like it's like he's realizing he's like, hey, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is just for my own greed. Oh, you mean like we've all been saying for months? We've all been making fun of you for that. What Aaron calls seething is us getting to a quicker realization than he has.
He's the last one at the concert to use the porta potty, and same results.
It might just be Aaron's greed that's keeping me on the air
might
today.
be. It certainly is.
Yes, hey, nailed
You
it.
have nothing to talk about. That's the premise of the show. And then he'll never address, like, that's the thing about doing that tongue in cheek where he's like, I'm just being a cutie. It's just my greed that keeps me on, right, gang? But he'll never address the fact that he literally prepared nothing for the show and just kept saying, come on, guys, send money. What do you say?
He went, hey, guys, we've been here 4 years. Send clips, and I might talk about them if you pay.
Not even send clips. Send memories. Say something that triggers a memory, and I'll talk about it.
I won't even post the clip.
Yeah.
This next one's called Begging.
Well, that's unusual. Did I hear my name?
You did.
Well, I think it's good that Bob wants a streaming life and a real life. That's healthy.
Oh, I
That's
forgot
good.
about this. I forgot about this cocksucker who lulled me into almost agreeing with him, by the way. He goes, talking about the Dabbleverse is lame, man. There's nothing gayer than talking Dabbleverse. And then he does like 15 minutes on Bob Levy versus Shuley. I couldn't believe
what in the Dabbleverse.
I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. He's like, oh man, doing these drama shows is so lit. Which, again, this is where like I got lost in Aaron's manipulation and trickery. Where like I might have heard it a year ago where I'm like, I kind of agree with an overall point he was making. Where I think the guys who use their shows as an ATM, I don't know if you can think of any of those, Aaron, but I think the guys that use their shows as like an ATM where it's like, I'll just pop on and do a show. I don't have anything prepared. Just send me money and I'll read your super chats. I think that's kind of like gross. Feels almost like too like do whatever you want, I guess, if people are paying you. It just feels weird. It feels like you're not a broadcaster. To quote my friend Anthony Jeselnik, you're not a podcaster at this point. You know what I mean? You're just a guy like asking for money from people on the internet. Now, it's funny that Aaron shares that take with me because he's literally in the middle of a show where he's like, I'm doing this because of my own greed. Please send me money because I have nothing else to talk about. And then criticizes the Dabbleverse and then gets into Shuley and Bob. All right, sorry, we're caught up.
Yes, the Aaron paradox.
Yeah.
The Aradox.
What's not healthy is going, we need to crank up like people call me an e-beggar. Listen, at least I'm honest. At least I'm open. These other guys you watch that do shows at all hours of the night.
That right there. That right there is Aaron's entire mentality. I beg. Sure, I beg. But I'm better than Kevin Brennan and Stuttering John because I beg at the same time every day. I beg at 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. or whenever his show is. Like, I beg at those two times. Kevin Brennan sometimes begs at a non-scheduled hour. So that makes me better than him.
Yes, consistent beggar is greater than random beggar. Everyone knows this, Mike.
I guess it's the kind of logic you have to have. Like, when everyone's making fun of you, you have two options. I like to think the path that I would take is being like, oh, everyone's making fun of me. There must be something I'm doing that's mockable. Let me examine that internally and maybe talk about it on the show. Or you can take Aaron's path and go like, hey, people make fun of me. There's other people that are even worse.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. That doesn't make you not bad.
No, and comparison is the death of joy. So that it makes a lot of sense that that's what all these guys do is they compare. How about it's golf, baby? It's you versus the course, not you versus anyone else.
Listen to this because I don't even really understand the comparison he's making. He's like, I'm on it. Like these guys are bad because they do it at different times.
I know. It's consistent with me.
And they do an emergency show. You don't think that's begging for money? That is open. That's begging for money worse than I do. That's just basically going, I got to fire up a stream so you retards pay me.
Well, again, right. Like, if fucking... But, like, so emergency show, maybe he's talking about, like, Shuley?
Just a reminder, 4-year anniversary show, nothing prepared. And he's now going to complain about other people's shows.
Say what you want about Shuley. And there is something to that, where it's like, if you talk about Stuttering John 7 days a week, or I don't know how often he does a show, but let's say 5-7 days a week, whatever it is, there is an element where it's like, at a certain point, I'm doing this to supplement my income or because I want people to pay me more or whatever. Yeah. But Shuley has like clips and shit prepared. Like he's talking about something. So the people supporting his channel, it doesn't seem gross to me because they're like, hey, I'm enjoying the show. Here's $10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Aaron is saying, come on, guys. We got to keep the lights on here. Please. Like,
yes.
That is objectively, that is more begging than the first thing I mentioned. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, and I see Shuley getting trolled all the time for overproduction. Too much going on, too much stuff. So, like, what he's the opposite. Aaron's the exact opposite. He does nothing on the show.
It's again like where Aaron kind of manipulates, and he fooled me into thinking he was better than some of these people for a time Because like I might have heard that a year or two ago and been like, oh yeah, like Shuli does kind of like Shuli will pop on and just like I'm sure subconsciously, or maybe not even subconsciously, but like on some level, that's him being like, I need a few extra dollars this month. Let's do an extra stream.
He's got a staff to pay.
Right. But yeah, like he's doing a broadcast. Whatever you think of Shuli, he's doing a show. You can say it sucks or whatever, that's fine. But like he's doing a show. Aaron is literally doing the opposite, where like the money comes first, and then it's, as he calls it, filler, where like I'll do a show if I have to. But ideally, you guys would just send me money.
And then ironically, that is the show. Like we are interested in the money part of the show. So he roundabout way figured something. He didn't figure it out. He fell into it.
Well,
but we are watching it right now. God damn us, you
and
know?
I forgot to mention this too. Jezelnik in that podcast with Marin that we talked about, he mentions like Patreon. And he's like, yeah, I would never have a Patreon. That's just like begging for, and I know there are people that think that are like you're just like making your fans pay you or something. And to me, it's like I have a Patreon. I've seen people who I respect a lot more than myself do very well on Patreon, so I'm not sad about it or anything. But like I have a Patreon. Hopefully, the people that support this show are like, hey, here's $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever they're willing to throw at me. I appreciate it because they know. Like that helps the show and it allows me to do more shows and stuff like that. Where it gets gross, the only thing I think worth criticizing is when a guy beats you over the head with it and is making enough money and is like, guys, I still need more. Sorry. Like, I know you're giving $5 a month, but you should be giving 10 because we really need to keep the lights on. I might take this show away if you don't give me more money. It's like, no, it should be the opposite, where it's like, guys, I appreciate you paying me. Don't feel like you have to, That's always been my mentality. But Aaron differs, apparently.
And yet, Mike, he hits the goal more often than not. So what the fuck?
He does. There's something to what he's doing.
That's way worse than doing a goal. That's way worse begging for money than anything Steel Toe does.
I don't get that. But this next one's called Prep.
Oh, well, let's hear it. Now, obviously, you guys have heard, and we've joked around. Like, obviously, the idea of Aaron not prepping a 4th anniversary show, we're exaggerating. That's what we do here. Well, we're anti-Aaron. We're seething. We're angry. So, obviously, we're going to bash him probably a little more than he deserves. Clearly, he prepped for his show. So, let's see the kind of work that he put into this big 4th anniversary show.
Chad Buzamok with $1 says, speaking of producers, did you plan, prep, or put together any vids or clips of old Steel Toe days? Maybe out time into doing that, money would flow. Well, I tell you what, we are always up for requests. I can go grab any clip at a moment's notice.
What are you, nuts? Are you insane? All right, Aaron, I'm thinking of a particular segment from March of 2021. Go find that for me. I don't know when, I don't know what day exactly. I just remember this particular conversation. Go ahead. Go.
Find it. It's very easy to do. That's what
it isn't. On the fly?
Show.
What are you, crazy? I wish people started asking, like, hey, Aaron, just some obscure segment. Remember when you made fun of Johnny Crutches this one time? Have Aaron find that on the fly. It's impossible.
The anniversary show is it's a shameless money grab, and it's people wanting to relive their favorite clips. From
you don't have clips. You don't have any clips. How are they reliving them?
But they're right at the finger's touch. I could get them at any moment, Mike. Any moment I can get them.
Do you know
what clip you need?
Do you know how difficult that would be?
Impossible.
Go to Aaron's YouTube channel. Every episode is 4.5 hours. How the fuck would you sift through that live on air?
You wouldn't.
It's just celebrating 4 years of being listener support.
It would all just be his ex-wife in a bikini anyway. That's the only thing that would be requested.
Ported and away from the radio. It's
hey, wait a minute.
Just kind of
January 1st will be 4 years of me being listener supported. Uh-oh. You guys owe me money. No, Listen, I've been listener supported for 4 years. They've already paid. They don't owe me more. What a crazy thing to be like, I've been listener supported for 4 years. So come on, pay me more, pay me extra, please.
It's a Scientology contract of fandom. It's a billion years. You gotta pay.
That's so
Kind of a
great.
fun
I
time.
can't imagine like people on my Patreon who pay monthly already or yearly. Yeah, go get a subscription for yourselves if you're not already. But people that pay monthly or yearly, I can't imagine sending them a message and saying, "Hey, gang, who wants to celebrate being subscribed to this for 4 years by giving me even more than you already have? Come on, let's get in on the fun. What do you say?"
Absolutely. And then also with Patreon now, you can gift a Blind Mike Patreon subscription. So, bring others to the party.
You guys do owe me next month, so you might as well get ahead of it and buy a bunch of gifted memberships.
I'm for everybody. Thank you, guys. $50 more will keep this thing going. We've got guests. Our guests start at 8 o'clock.
Oh, the guests are very exciting.
Yes, guest tease, the final clip from Aaron.
The guests are very exciting. You guys aren't going to believe. Well, go with me and pretend you haven't already seen this.
Okay.
You guys aren't going to believe who Aaron has on his guest. So listen to the tease he gives out, and then I will reveal who Aaron had on the Steel Toe Morning Show. Let's hear how he frames this.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. All right, let's make that other $65, and then I'll be done asking you guys for money. We don't have to go till noon today. I would like to go till
Wait,
10.
what? The whole thing was the more money we give you, the longer you go. And he's like, I think it's about quitting time.
That's fucking old. That is the exact same thing he did the last time we were here when he's like, "Oh, you two don't want cards? All right, I got 2 more cards for sale."
Yeah.
Like,
What do you say? You know what? All things considered, what do you say? You guys call it a cool 65. Slide it to me now. We'll get out of here early. What do you say? Now he's doing it for our benefit. Like, we can all knock off a little early if you just give me $65. What kind of back alley deal is this?
I mean, he really is missing his calling. You should be selling used cars, Aaron. You would make $1 billion.
He is a shyster. This is crazy.
10 with our special guests in the 9 o'clock hour, though. So if we can do $65 worth of envelopes, we'll be good. We don't need to go any further than that today.
Come on, folks. You can handle that 9% auto loan rate on that Camaro. You can do it. Just a few bucks.
You know how you do the math? You're an investor, Casey.
Oh, yeah.
You know you do the math where you're like, hey, if I don't get a Starbucks coffee every day for a month, that's money I could be putting in Tesla or whatever the fuck. Whatever stock I'm buying that month.
What do you think I got so mad at the pants guy? $300.
Exactly, yeah. If you think of it that way, it's money. Whereas Aaron, in Aaron's mind, is like, yeah, just cut out an insurance payment and you can pay me instead. Don't pay the electric bill this month. Just pay Aaron Imhold. Come on, what do you say?
Sure, it's cold, but you got them extra coats just hanging in the closet. I mean, just put 10 coats on. You don't need heat.
Bundle up and pay Steel Toe.
That dog is edible. All I'm saying.
I think you guys are going to really have a lot of reactions to our special guests at 9 o'clock. I think it'll be a big one. I think it'll be very much talked about. And I think you'll probably want to.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be very much talked about.
If it's Johnny, I'm going to fucking punch him.
Who could it be? Oh, it's not Johnny, you silly goose. It's 2 other people that have been on the show a bunch. It's Gino Bisconti and Keanu.
Boo. That was not.
By the way, first of all, they've been on the show, but like, who gives a fuck? Gino, it seems like a perfectly nice guy. Seems like a great guy, actually. Seems like he'd probably be fun to hang out with, have a few drinks with. Seems like a fun, nice guy. The worst podcast guest. I don't understand why people have him on. He's like notoriously a bad podcast guest. I remember when I started listening to Legion of Skanks 9 years ago, they had Gino Bisconti on, and the joke was that all the guys were miserable because of what a bad guest he is. Gino does not listen. He does not contribute to the conversation. He wants to get to the points Gino wants to make. And I think Gino would agree with everything I'm saying. Like I said, seems like a great guy from the little interactions I've had with him. Seems very nice.
Makes the 9/11 hijackers look like the JV team. He's a hijacker, baby.
He is a terrible guest on a I'm not even saying his show. I'm sure his show is terrific. He gets to all the points he wants to get to. As a guest, he's terrible because he doesn't listen, doesn't give a fuck what anyone else is talking about, just gets to what Gino wants to get to. So already it's a terrible tease. But then what you might say is, no, Mike, you got it all wrong. Gino was on the Steel Toe show, and then him and Keanu stabbed Aaron in the back. They said, fuck you, we're Team April. And then they left. So you might say, Mike, where you're wrong is there is going to be gossip and controversy to be had because Aaron is going to confront them for that. No, he just said like, hey, he did a bit where he pulled a knife from behind him and he goes, I believe this belongs to you. And they go, oh, come on, you. And then they giggled about the Chargers and the Vikings for like 20 minutes, maybe not even. And then Gino and Keanu left, and that was it.
Wow. Amazing. Congratulations. 4 years, baby. That's what I was leading to.
That was it. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention the hour plus late that Gino and Keanu were.
Oh, no.
Really just proving my point that they care about the show they're on. And all the technical difficulties Aaron had in getting them on. So it really was a masterful job.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Krager's did it.